Hey fight fans, welcome to Cage Minds. I'm your host Micah. We're going to be doing our results show for UFC on FX1, telling you how our predictions did. Let's get right to the 10 fights. First of all, we'll start with the prelims, move up to that main card. First fight, Joseph Sandoval versus the Ninja of Love, Nick Dennis. We had predicted a second round TKO for Nick Dennis. Now we'll get to the fight. They came in, Dennis landed a big right hand, took Sandoval right out of his game, grabbed the clinch, landed several big elbows with his right side to the left temple of Sandoval, put him down. It ends up being a 22-23 second first round TKO, knockout of the night award. Impressive debut, Nick Dennis. So one correct prediction. Next one, Daniel Pena versus Pat Schilling. We had predicted a unanimous decision for Daniel Pena. It ended up being a first round rear naked choke. He was aggressive in all facets, slapped that choke on. An impressive debut for him as well. Next on the prelims was Fabricio Camoes versus Tommy Hayden. Hayden was a late replacement. Camoes, this is his third fight now in the UFC. He was looking, this is his second time in the organization even, looking still for his first victory. He was successful at getting it. He was taken to the ground by Hayden, but then was able to attain a good position, slap in a rear naked choke. Rear naked choke is the theme of this fight card. Next fight we had was Charlie Brenneman versus Daniel Ninja Roberts. We had predicted that we'd see a lot of grappling in this fight. Thought a unanimous decision would be won out by Brenneman, and it exactly happened in that fashion. He was able to achieve the crucifix position, land some big ground and pound, and avoid an inverted triangle and a very solid Kimura attempt by Daniel Roberts. For Ninja Roberts, this is his third consecutive loss. We'll see what happens to him in the future. Best of luck to him, though. Next on the prelims, Kamal Shalarus versus Kabad Nurmagomedov. I thought that Shalarus would have the more solid wrestling. Nurmagomedov, he was running through guys in Russia. I kind of counted out the caliber of competition he was facing. Thought he'd have a tougher test coming over his first time in America, first time out of his own country. Well, he could shut me up pretty quick as he out-wrestled Shalarus, dominated. And even though he doesn't have the prettiest striking, his wild uppercuts were landing and were devastating. He and Kabad was able to slap on a third round rear naked choke, winning his debut, another impressive UFC debut. We get to the last of the prelims. After we had all these successful debuts, we're going to talk about a fighter, two veteran fighters, one who is retiring. Jorge Rivera, the day before the fight, had announced that this would be his last fight. He was retiring. He's taking on Eric Red Shaffer. We thought that Rivera would win a unanimous decision with his hands keeping it standing, his underrated ground game. Well, his underrated ground game was shown as he was taken to the ground, able to avoid Red Shaffer's submissions, stayed patient, stayed confident in his hands. In the second round, was able to avoid the takedown, land a few big shots, and get a second round TKO. A successful ride off into the sunset to his retirement for Jorge Rivera. Wished him best of luck on his new gym that he's going back home to open. That was the prelims. We'll move on to the main card now. We got Pat Barry versus Christian Warcraft to start that one off. We had predicted a first round TKO for Pat Barry. Warcraft was able to attain takedowns, attempt submissions. Barry showed his improvement on the ground, avoided those submissions, was able to get the TKO from a big left hook, falling to the ground with a few more punches. These men split the Fight of the Night award, and also Pat Barry makes the announcement that he is not going to cut his hair anymore until he's able to achieve a submission win. So we'll see how funky that fro gets. Next on the main card was Mike Easton versus Jared Papazan. Papazan was taking this fight on short notice. Easton, the Hulk, we had seen a great stand-up war coming. I thought this was going to be back and forth in a great battle. It lived up to that. It wasn't a split decision like I predicted. Ended up being a majority decision for Mike Easton, as it was 30-27, 29-28, and 29-29 on the scorecards. Kind of inexplicable on the 29-29, but a decision victory overall for Mike Easton. Jared Papazian has no reason to hang his head. That was a great fight. In my opinion, I actually thought that was the fight of the night. Now we get up to the co-main event. Duane Ludwig, Josh the Dennis Neer. Thought that this could have been a fight of the night candidate going in, that they were going to slug it out. And to my surprise, right off the bat, Duane Ludwig shows to be the more technical striker, starts winning the striking, but again, we knew his weakness is the wrestling and the ground game. Josh Neer is able to take it to the ground, and then as Duane Ludwig tries to stand up, Neer slaps on a guillotine, pulls it down, and puts to sleep. Bang, went to sleep from the dentist. First round guillotine. Good win for Josh Neer. Josh Neer wins, he moves on. Prediction for his future, maybe a fight with Mike Powell, Dong Young Kim, either one of those could be very interesting. For Duane Ludwig, it's back to the drawing board, perhaps maybe Sean Pearson next up for him. We'll go to the main event now, where we have Melvin Guillard versus Jim Miller. We had predicted a second round TKO for Melvin Guillard. The fight did not get that far. Guillard came out. Again, showed authority, showed some explosiveness, showed his faster hands and feet in the striking game, was landing some big shots, but Jim Miller was able to weather the storm, achieve the takedown, take the back, get a rear naked choke, our fourth one of the night for the whole event, fifth submission overall. Jim Miller back to being the submission killer that we know, showing that the fight against Ben Henderson really was just an off night. He gets a rear naked choke and a submission of the night award. Jim Miller is back. So for that, we were wrong on 3 fights, 7-3 on our predictions. It was an alright night for Caged Minds. Now on to another topic. I gotta also say a big congratulations to So the Hulk Powell L, friend of the show from Australia. Congratulations on his super heavyweight title that he just won. Congratulations on that, bro. A couple other comments to make. Next up, possible for Melvin Guillard, I'd say a bout with Terry Edom would probably be very good. As for Jim Miller, we know that Edson Barbosa just had a spectacular win as well, and that Nate Diaz did. So I could see either one of them, and whichever one he fights, that should definitely be, without a doubt, the #1 contender match to face Ben Henderson, Frankie Edgar winner at UFC 144. This has been Caged Minds. Thanks for watching. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Uncage the Warrior Within Yourself. Have a good night.